Okay, so what did you think when I told you I'm going to live in a van?
I didn't really comprehend it. I didn't really, I mean, a van, to me, this is not a van. I mean, you know, so when people live in vans, I think of like over there. And
Minivan.
Yeah. You know, that's what my impression of a van is. It's not this. This, to me, I didn't even know existed. I just hated to see you give everything up for that, because like every time I'd ask you when you'd sell your car, well, we can always get another car. Well, we can always get another apartment.
But we do have to say that you weren't like this from the beginning.
Well, the van life didn't bother me so much then, and it was because you had because Kevin was with you. But when you were alone by yourself, a single woman, being a single woman myself, raising, you know, a single mom, you know, and I'm a very overprotective person because of that. But I trust you. I do trust you, and I trust you to make good decisions. And I know that you've done that in the past, and that's how I've come around to this involvement or this process of believing in you and accepting you and supporting you.
I had to have blinders on with you and my dad and just say, I don't really care what you think. I'm just going to do this because this is what I believe in. Mm-hmm. And you've come around to it.
Yeah, well, you did a 180. You were kind of a close to the vest, kind of stick to the homebody, and then you just kind of put everything in a storage and took off. So, I mean, that was a drastic change. And, I mean, to see your daughter move way across country and not see her, you know, I just felt like I was losing my daughter.
That I was losing, you know, the most precious thing to me. That she was going millions of miles away.
When I moved to California?
And I didn't know when I'd see you again, or how I could be a mother from a distance like that.
The last year, you've watched my van life journey unfold. What's been the most interesting part?
I think the build out, you know, it involved two people with two different types of personalities. You were able to get through that and actually accomplish it.
What would you tell someone who's like, she wants to tell her parents that she's going to live in a van?
My opinion shouldn't matter as much as what you feel like your path is and what you're driven to do. And you don't need really permission from anybody, although I think you should respect your parents and listen to them and respect their opinions.
So what would you give advice to parents who their daughter or son tells them they're going to do this?
Really listen to what your child wants and what her expectations are, and see if there's any way that you can help her achieve that, and not judge, and to leave the judgmental stuff out of it, because you're not going to understand it if, like me, I didn't know anything about it, and they'll probably think of a van as a minivan. So they need to educate themselves about it as much as they can too.
Having a non-judgmental parent makes you want to tell them about your experience, meaning you feel included. So it's like a cycle. Like, if I don't feel like you support me, then I'm not really going to tell you about my experiences. Then you're not educated on it. Then you feel left out, and then just the cycle continues. But if you change that cycle to, like, I remember the day you called me and said, "Oh my gosh, I watched all your YouTube videos and now I love this." Like, I remember that day, because that was the day, and that was almost a year later. A year later, I finally got that validation of like, oh wait, you love this now? Like, what? You've watched all my videos? And now I can finally feel like I can just tell you whatever.
It's not just about you, it's about a whole community, a culture, a movement.
What you saw is people accepting me, and then you feel like you could accept it.
Yeah, but you were part of a movement, a group. They're out here. There's millions of them. I mean, not millions. It's a whole movement, a culture, a group. Whereas where I'm from, there's not.
How do you balance the yin of knowing you raised a bright, capable woman with the universal yang of a mother's worry?
Well, you've been defiant and self-determined and self-willed all your life. So that is your personality. And I have struggled with it since you were probably 2 years old.
Was Liz always adventurous? When did the curiosity really set in?
Oh, I mean, yeah, I used to call you my motion baby. If we weren't moving, you weren't happy.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. So we had to keep moving all the time.
Do you miss anything from the old TV me?
It was nice to see you on TV. It is always nice. It's always nice to have your friends talk about, oh, I saw Liz last night on Channel 2. You know, you were like a #1 reporter. And that made me real proud.
Yeah.
Proud of you and proud of what you had become, a success at what you were doing.
Do you feel like I just threw that away because I wasn't on TV anymore?
You didn't throw that away. I think you've carried some of those skills with you. And so, no, I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of you because you are a success regardless of what channel you choose. You've got a plan for to be here. And so to live out that plan is your responsibility. And I totally give that to you.
When you read the comments on YouTube of people calling me fake or daddy's money or trust fund kid, things like that, how do you respond to that?
I don't pay any attention to that. That's not worthy of paying attention to. Mm-hmm. That's just, they don't know you. They don't know who you are. I don't pay any attention to it. It's just like, consider the source.
Isn't it so funny, though, that people, when you read that, what people say, oh, she must have a rich dad, or oh, she must have a trust fund family, or...
Well, they're just comparing themselves to you, thinking, well, they can't do it, but the reason you can do it is because you have all these resources, which is not true. So, I mean, you do have resources
that I've created by myself.
But you have developed this on your own.
Okay, perfect. Good job. You did well.
She'll be editing that for a while.